TM23 or 2TM23, is that the band? Hard Rock Hallelujah? That is not a Christian band, though. But where does any person get those models? Dude makes a shit ton of money, George. Like, just because it's erotic writing that isn't entirely serious doesn't mean it doesn't make money. All right. Anyway, dwarfs. Important things. Does anybody here want a dwarf? If you don't already have a dwarf. Current alive dwarves are Ovsalot, Kaiski, Zephyr, Dragonman, Fuzzatron, Lump, Shadowwraith, Jacques Treatment, Kemper, Fleabum, Hiki-Jiki, Turtle Bear, Grunark, Arctic, Huguru, Radagast, Arndisum, Nighty, Tredge, MMXSC, Arilatrink, Spitalier, Scrumpet, Omen, Tapioke, Hobo, and Cathorius. Sure, Sir Gaz, what kind of dwarf would you like? Any soap makers? Yes, actually. Ironically. Can you have a farmer? You want to be a useless one? So you want to be a child. All right, so we'll start with Sir Gaz. We'll make Sir Gaz a child, then we'll do the soap maker. Because children are completely useless. Sir Gaz. But you might become useful. She is 8 years old, born on the 14th of Opal in the year 254. Probably not in this fortress, maybe in this fortress. She is the daughter of Crocodile. Okay, so probably in this fortress. Daughter of Crocodile and Aban Tongue Spear. She is a worshiper of Unur, the Copper Shell. No, that's one of, no, Radishcast is one of the regulars around here. She personally finds the notion that one would persevere through adversity completely abhorrent, sees cooperation as very important in life, and doesn't respect a society that has settled into harmony without debate and strife, values tranquility and values sacrifice, and believes it is important to conceal emotions and refrain from complaining, doesn't really value merrymaking and doesn't care about art one way or another, and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. She's impervious to the effects of stress, a strengthening after retching and miasma, and she does not enjoy participating in physical confrontations. Not bad, Sir Gaz. Your dwarf will be a grand warrior one day. That soap maker's now dibs, called on. Aurykpterus. Normally I do that in my head. I could tell you all about it. Is your most recent thought? You seem to be very bored and you don't feel much. You've been euphoric due to inebriation. Yes, you have been. Cool. She is very strong. By the way, chat, can I get a round of beers for all of the dwarves? By the way.
Now you're all in charge of putting together one dish. And don't just buy booze. That ain't food.
It is for dwarves.
What do you mean booze ain't food?
It certainly is food for dwarves. She is 52 years old, born on the 15th of Opal. Her right hand bears a short, straight scar, and her lower leg bears a very short, straight scar. If you just type in the word beer, to anybody who doesn't know, my bot will put a beer in the chat. That's all you gotta do. She personally is a firm believer in the tradition that values independence. She personally is a firm believer in tradition, values independence, and values sacrifice, and doesn't think one way or another about leisure times, and dreams of mastering a skill. She is a perfectionist, and she is somewhat quarrelsome. She is bothered by this, since she values friendship, she has a tendency to go at it alone without considering the advice of others. She finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding and doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. She tends to consider what others think of her, and she prefers everyone live harmoniously. She has a good spatial sense and an ability to read emotions fairly well, but she has little linguistic ability and little patience. And likes native silver, zinc, bonded agate, I think is how you say that. Chimpanzee leather, coral, and the color ochre, and turkeys for their wattle. Who else would like a dwarf in here? Animal, you'd like to join the military? Do you have a particular nickname you'd like to give your stabby dwarf? Also, to anybody who watched the Today in Dwarf Fortress video, if you guys want to do me a huge favor, if you could leave a comment on the video itself, just any comment, it really helps the YouTube algorithm. And also, feedback is useful on the video. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Oh, so they're not using hammers, they're using swords. We're using swords now, not hammers. The reason we're using swords is because we have adamant. So we're using swords. So, you know, let's just go with Stabby Mole. Stabby Mole. There you go, animal. He doesn't feel anything after being unable to practice the craft for too long. You just don't feel anything ever. That's good. He is lonely after being away from friends. He felt pleasure remembering a sparring session. He is quite durable and very slow to tire, but slow to heal. Stabby, stabby foglark, right? It's quite durable and slow to tire, but also slow to heal. Oh, also, isn't that... I wonder if that's... Hey! I just realized something. We have Snickers hype. So if I'm acting cranky, you guys can give me a Snickers now. Stabby Mole likes Adesite, Bismuth Bronze, Tanzanite, Kapuk Wood, Purring Maggot Tooth, High Boots, and Goats for their eating habits, and the words of the Mine of Diamond, and the sound of the Bride of Pregnancy. And when possible, he prefers to consume bilberry wine, and he hates mussels. He has an unbreakable will and a great feel for social relationships. He personally views tranquility as one of the highest ideals, finds maintaining decorum a silly, fumbling waste of time, and respects power and doesn't particularly value the truth. He is incredibly calm demeanor, and he forms strong emotional bonds with others, at times to his detriment. That's you, animal. Let's look at your relationships. You don't actually have many friends. You have some passing acquaintances, though. Hilarious, the crafts dwarf, is one of your family members. It's a very big pity that Hilarious is dead. Sorry. But your family's dead! Right, yes, we are under siege right now by goblins. Goblins! They sieged us this, like, right as I ended stream yesterday. We're actually gonna fight them. We're preparing for that. Did anybody else want a dwarf? I probably missed somebody. If you want a dwarf, just poke me in chat. Remind me. Yeah, and the honest goal with the YouTube stuff is to is so that, you know, eventually YouTube is all like, hey, we'll give your stuff a bit of a boost with the algorithm. So anything to help the algorithm is good. Peter, you'd like a dwarf? What dwarves are available, Beardster? We have some miners, some metal workers, some crafters, some farmers. You wanted a farmer, right? Peter? There you go. He was excited, remembering performing, and worried after being unable to pray to Dakas the Grey. Like, Dakas the Grey Saffron. Maybe I need a temple. Might need to make some new temples. Oh, you'd like to be a child? I made you a farmer. Is a farmer okay, or do you want me to move you to a child? You'd like a third one? A third attempt at life, Belug? Sure. He is 50 years old, born on the 25th of Granite in the year 212. He isn't tall, but he has incredible muscles. And he is somewhat narrow-eared, have large lobes, and his very short sideburns are neatly combed. He'll take a metalworker? Aight. This works, Peter? Cool. He is mighty, but susceptible to disease. Has a great musical sense and a natural inclination towards language. Some have patience and good creativity. He likes phalite, fine pewter, red beryl, bonobo tooth, armadillo shell, bolts and shields, boxes and bags, and giant warthogs for their tempers. And when possible, he prefers to consume a jackal and sunshine and alfalfa. Sunshine and alfalfa seeds, and hates bats. I don't have any cheesemakers, sir, because I don't use them. He personally values good craft dwarfship and doesn't value Start this over. He values good craft dwarfship and has no value in holding back complaints and concealing emotions, and thinks friendship is important, and doesn't see cooperation as valuable, and doesn't particularly value the truth, and dreams of crafting a great work of art. He is a pessimist, and he is very trusting, and he isn't particularly curious about the world. He prefers everyone to live harmoniously as possible, and he is rarely happy or enthusiastic. That is you, Peter. Beardster would like a metal worker. You could be a legendary metal crafter. How's that sound? Beardster. Did I spell that right? I think I did, yeah. Beardster. She is satisfied at work. Then the last season, she was bored after being unable to practice a craft. But you're a metal crafter. Go do metal crafting. She is incredibly quick to heal and incredibly tough. She personally thinks working hard is an abject idiocy and finds friendship burdensome. Does not care about fairness and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. Incredibly quick to heal and incredibly tough. Beardster, Shendim likes rutile, zinc, clear garnet, water buffalo horn, and large gems and goats for their eating habits, and red squirrels for their tails, and the sight of the smile of deserts. And when possible, you prefer to consume peach cider, mog juice, and pineapples, and you hate lizards. You have a very good feel for social relationships and a way with words and a good kinesthetic sense. She has a great trouble mastering fear when confronted with danger, and she doesn't stick with things even if minor difficulties arise. She can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings, and she isn't given to flights of fancy, and she can handle stress. That's interesting. You can handle stress, but you don't like scary situations. I guess you'll just run away and hide, but it won't stress you out. Weird. All right, well, that's you. Also, apparently you have kills. You killed 4 goblins in total in a fortress called Colored Boats. I'm not sure where the Fortress of Color Boats is. You can activate cheat. Okay, sure. And then this can be Bilag. Chat, would you guys like a fortress tour? Just let me know if you'd like a fortress tour. I'm giving you a brewer, by the way. Cheese making and milking. There you go. A little bit about Belung. She is satisfied remembering work and satisfied at work. And felt blissful, remembering being in a legendary dining room. 131 years old, mighty, susceptible to disease. Very long hair, and it's neatly combed with high eyebrows. Nothing wrong with having one more viewer, because you can always cheer 69 bits and be giggity whenever you wish. How are you doing today, chimp? She has great creativity, and a great musical sense, and a great ability to focus and a good memory, but meager kinesthetic sense and a shortage of patience. She personally believes that the acquisition of power over others is the ideal goal in life, worthy of the highest respect, and sees introspection as important, and finds romance distasteful, and doesn't care if others take the time to master skills. She dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. She is in a constant state of internal rage, and she never acts without prolonged deliberation, even to her own detriment. Oh boy. Well, we are being attacked by Twitch chat, it seems. The forgotten beast Gefama has come, a gigantic serpent composed of salt. It has a short horn and it has a bloated body. Throw water at it. Yeah. All right, so let's let's set our dwarves to the time off, and we're gonna send the adamantine blockade down here. I have a feeling we're not gonna have too much trouble with this thing. Just a suspicion, but oh, just immediately leaves. Sounds tasty, Beardster. Oh, there it is. It back. I mean, we don't need to throw water at it because it jumped into a pond by itself. Ah, come on. This thing keeps leaving the map. Let's move them up there. Come on, swords dwarves. Gotta get the dwarves into position before we can really do much. Let's see if we can spot this thing. Yeah, currently it's not on the map. Kind of went up there. Unfortunately, we can't get up there right now. There's a bunch of fish people over here. They are not friendly. Hopefully we don't have to kill them in the process. I have a feeling this beast probably ain't that strong, but also has, what's up, dude? Can we eat them as sushi? I don't think we can butcher them, because dwarves don't like murdering creatures that are sentient. Well, not sentient, but like intelligent, rather. And those are intelligent creatures. Like actual fish, probably. Okay, you know what? We'll just send the dwarves back upstairs. We'll just keep an eye on this. I have a feeling it's gonna show back up. And the dwarves can get down here pretty quick, so... Dwarves are just on permanent forced break for right now until, Is doing okie dokie? You're doing okie dokie? That's good to hear. Glad to hear everything is hunky-dory. I'm doing alright. Oh, there it is. It popped it back in, and then it vanished again. I did a sponsored stream earlier today, so that was good. It's probably over there killing something. I'm just waiting for this thing to reappear. Dwarf is throwing a tantrum. I mean, it seems to be pretty content to just kind of stay over there, I guess. I mean, I could just close this gate. We could just do that. I want to say it's this lever. Is it this lever? I have too many levers, chat room. I have way too many levers. That might be the bottom one, but... Oh. It's back on the map. There it is. Never mind. Cancel that. We're actually not going to close these caverns off. Cancel. Because I do. Okay, Eski. It's just I have one that, This thing is pesky. I'm gonna take a right quick toilet break. Yell loudly, chat room, if this thing starts to run towards my dwarves. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's made of salt. What's it gonna do?
Cheese for everyone!
Did you guys see it pop out? Oh, there it is. I think it's going for the blue gunners. Oh, you're gonna start shutting soon? You're gonna be like, streamer, we have a problem. No. I'm sorry, what? I think that, I think that those goblins have a bit of a were-creature infestation. They don't seem to be fighting, though. Yeah. Yikes indeed. So I'm waiting on a text message from somebody, so I've got my phone on and next to me. The last invasion I had actually was, or last siege I had, oh, okay, now the game's saving. Last siege that I had was, oh, hey! The developer for Door in the Woods just sent me a DM that, just sent me a heads up that there is now a Twitch directory for the game, which means I could stream it if I want. Alright, here comes that snake. Door in the Woods, yeah. It's a little roguelike-y game. Like, really roguelike-y. No, this isn't the Into the Breach soundtrack, actually. Same composer, though. What do you think of Into the Breach? I really don't want my dwarves to jump into the water. I'm literally just waiting for this. That game is amazing. It's just unfortunate that it was so bad for streaming. It's like single-handedly maybe one of the best games ever made, and also on the exact flip side, easily one of the worst games for streaming ever made. And a dwarf has been taken by a Fey mood, but I can't really pay attention to that right now. We got bigger problems. All right, here comes the snake. It seems to be accelerating. Let's go for it. Best of luck, dwarves. Let's follow a named dwarf, shall we? Let's follow... Is there anybody who's in chat right now? We'll follow Stabby Mole. Here we go. Wish us luck. And it's dead. Now we can salt our dinner. I knew that would go quickly. Our chief medical dwarf is having a strange mood. don't know. Claims a crafts dwarf shop. All right, all right, all right.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I mean, you're the one who went and changed it. So this dwarf just grabbed adamant ore. So this is probably going to be my most valuable artifact regardless of what it is. So hopefully it's something extremely stupid so we can get a chuckle out of it. As all of our dwarves grab mugs. Does it have more saturation? A little bit more, yeah. I got tired of looking like I was dying. Because I always looked super pale. So let's see, we got 2 rounds of raw adamant, quartz, emerald cut wax opals, and bloodthorn logs. That and like the sun is shining directly through the window right now. Like, do you remember back when we'd have Jesus hour? Sergaz, and like the sun would be directly behind my head and it would look like I was like about to ascend into the heavens. Well, this is basically that. We're that exact time of the day right now, at that time of the year that would happen, except you know, an adamantine syringe or a crown or a bracelet. Let's make some lye. Make some lye, and we'll make... ashen lye. Workshop. Do I have a... I have an ashery. Cool. And I have a soap maker's workshop. All right, sweet. And then we can make some soap. Instead of sermons, we got good rants. Yes. Why would I give you anything else? Meditate on rebirth. It's an interesting thing to be meditating on. I'm really curious to see what this dwarf works on. They can do that? Yeah, they can meditate. And they meditate on subjects based on their gods. So they can go into a temple and they can meditate or they can pray. So this dwarf is praying. And because it's green, they don't really get any good moods from it, but they'll do it anyway. Now, if it's purple with an exclamation point, it means they're getting a good mood from it. Or a mood from it, whatever it is. So, like, this dwarf here is socializing. It's fine, but he doesn't really get a huge amount out of it. This dwarf is meditating on death and loves it. So. Oh, reincarnation. No. No, there isn't reincarnation to my knowledge. So this is an area where I mined out a whole bunch of adamant, and it just keeps going. Look at all of that adamant. There's so much in that spire. It's kind of absurd, actually. Oh shit, Plump Helmetman! Look at this! There be Plump Helmetman! A small humanoid resembling a walking mushroom. It has arms and legs, and it lives far underground. Man, I would really like a Plump Helmet person emote. That'd be cool. Just a little mushroom person. They are plump men in helmets. A plump helmet person plushie? Yeah, Fuzz the Trump. How you doing today, Fuzzatron? Why is there elves outside? You know what? I'm tempted to just like leave the elves locked outside and just not. The chief medical dwarf has created, holy shit, Sikeltishis Nani Roltud, an adamantine asbam, or absam, and claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Arash Spearphrase. What in the world is an absam? Well, it's worth a little bit. Is that 2 million? 2,114,400. Oh, it's really? It's an instrument? Must be. Yeah, you're right. What can we do with that kind of wealth? It'll make crazier monsters come murder me. This is a raw adamantine absam. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of oval, raw, adamantine cabochons and blood thorn. This object menaces with spikes of raw adamantine. On the item is an image of a forgotten beast in quartzite. On the item is an image of Errol Boltswhiskered, the dwarf, and dwarves in wax opal. Errol Boltswhiskered is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the ascension of the dwarf Errol Boltswhiskered to the position of king of the Arches of Craft in 243 and is our current king. The absam is a large handheld conical bore metal wind instrument. The musician blows across a hole in the side, and the musician selects the pitch by achieving higher harmonics. The instrument has 3.5 octave range, going from very low to mid-high pitch. The instrument has a sparse and muddy timbre. Huh, so it's a wind instrument. Wow. That's actually really cool. Like, really, really cool. Well, let's see if I can put that in my tavern. Okay, so I can't actually... I want to know where they put it. I want to keep track of that thing. Like a bugle? Yeah, kind of. I mean, it sounds like a big flute. Let's wait until a dwarf grabs it. Wait, hold on. There it is. I was like, where is it? But yeah, no, that's my most valuable one ever. My second most valuable one was like 800,000. That is still really fucking cool. I'd really like to see the dwarves use it. Man. I was fully ready for that to just be something incredibly useless. You know? Like, I was completely ready for that. You want to hear their music? If somebody plays the music, we can look at the... Oh god, where did... If somebody plays it, we can actually look at what they're playing on it. Trying to find a menu. Locations, nobles, statues. Hotkeys, links, hauling, zones, squads, job lists, set order, stockpiles, building tasks. Hotkey is it capital L? Yeah, there it is. Okay, sure, but where did you put it, game? Well, I can't install it anywhere. Because usually you can, like, tell them to place an instrument somewhere. I just really don't want it to get lost. That's all. I really don't want it to get lost. And I didn't see the dwarf that picked it up, so I don't know where they're putting it. Does anybody know where it would show up in the stocks menu? I was looking for like an instruments section, but it doesn't appear to have one. Tools? Of course it's in tools. Tools is like the where everything else goes. Yeah, I don't see it in here. Oh, is there an M? Oh, durr. I love how the game, like, breaks every single time I scroll over the tanned hides section because there's, like, 1,000 of them somewhere. All right, so it is in there. Let's actually check this. Chairs, table, bookcase is 10. This one. This one. Rented room 0. All right, so musical instruments are supposed to get stored in there. So in theory, someone should go pick that up. In theory, somebody should go pick that up. And then put it into my tavern because it's a musical instrument. Someone's got a task on it right now, so we'll follow it. We'll see where they put it. Although currently I'm following the bin. Sorry for this tedium. I just really want to make sure it makes it into my tavern. All right, so it has been moved. Tools are just unassembled parts and scrolls and various other things. There's a lot of really random things that are in, that go in there. I've always wondered if somebody's attempted to, make one of the instruments from Dwarf Fortress. I have two temples to the same god. I just realized I'm silly. It like immediately disappeared, so. Where did you put it, guys? All right, so it is still there. I really hope that they put it in there, because I would really like to see it end up in a good home, you know? Also, looks like the Today in Dwarf Fortress video from today is doing well, so thanks if anybody here has watched it, if you've liked it, or if you have any feedback for it or anything you'd like to say. Leaving comments on the video really helps the YouTube's algorithm. I know it's cheesy, but... You know, let's try this. Let's throw some of these guys in here. Throw some other coffers in. Yeah, like and subscribe, guys. Feels weird saying that. I feel dirty when I say like and subscribe in relation to a YouTube video. I don't know why, but I do. I feel weird. Like it doesn't come naturally to me because I'm not a YouTuber, right? Let's see, did they bring it in? Yeah, they don't seem to be too interested. You know, let's try assigning a performer. I've never actually assigned a performer to a tavern before. I need somebody with a good musical sense. Maffle, do you have a good musical sense? Beardless Dane, how are we doing? Iffy sense for music. A lot of dwarves have an iffy sense for music. It's funny, if you have somebody who's really bad at music as a performer in your fortress, the dwarves actually get like negative moods. They get like uncomfortable. She has a very good feel for social relationships. Okay. Okay, well that's not music though. A great musical sense and a good feel for social relationships, but bad analytical abilities. Alrighty, Cattle, the Strand Extractor, you're gonna get a new job. Temporarily, because I'm curious if this works. You're gonna become a performer at the Padded Dates? Which one is it? This one. The Breakfast of Scalding. Oh, you really? Yeah, he dropped, I think it was just a single gift sub a while ago. Just a random one out to the community, and it landed on you. Yep. Little bit ago, or at least it feels like a little bit ago for me. But anyway, I hope you're doing well, Beardless. Yeah, you not only have a beer emote, you also have a Dwarf emote. Have I seen the new Mandalorian series? I refuse to give Disney money, so no. I'm not gonna subscribe to Disney Plus. I don't like subscribing to subscription services unless I'm gonna actively use it. And so for me, the idea of subscribing to a subscription service for one show sounds like a massive waste. I don't know, where are you guys on with all that stuff, chat room? And also, I've been super down on, like, literally everything Star Wars related recently. Like, I just watched The Last Jedi. That movie is garbage. It's long, it's boring, and fuck all happens. That's just a really bad movie. I did not enjoy it at all. Hold on. There's just a bunch of trolls that keep turning into were-tortoises up on the surface. That is not okay. No, totally. I mean, like, if you have family members that like Disney, fucking, it makes perfect sense to me. But I don't give a rat's ass about Disney. Like, I'm not even really into the... Oh, what's it called? I'm not even really into, like, Marvel stuff anymore. I'm super burnt out on all the superhero stuff. I was even getting tired of, like, the Netflix shows. Like, I just don't enjoy it anymore. I don't know. The only other subscription service I see myself using anytime soon is CuriosityStream, and I have a lifetime subscription to that as part of being sponsored by them. So, even though the sponsorship is over now, it's like, meh. There's National Geographic shows? Sure. And I still have, CuriosityStream and Netflix docs. Like, there's documentaries on Netflix too. I haven't seen Frozen 1, to be honest with you. Don't have anything against it, I just never got around to it. Alright, so this dwarf is, or needs all their other labors removed. I need you to go perform. Entertain us. Just cancel your job. I want this dwarf to learn to play that instrument and go do that. But this dwarf doesn't seem incredibly interested in that. I've never been a DuckTales kid. I don't know, there's like literally nothing on Disney Plus that actively interests me, with the exception of the slight curiosity for The Mandalorian. And even that is like, eh. Alright, so what we're gonna do, I'm actually going to put them on time off. And we're going to open that front door, and I'm gonna go kill those trolls. Because they're no longer where Tortai. So we're gonna go kill those trolls. We're gonna go kill those trolls. Somebody go open that door, chat. Somebody go open that door. I don't know why I told chat to do it. Dwarfs! Somebody go open that door. Twitch chat and dwarves, basically the same thing. Evil Trick! Dude. Thank you much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. We're about to kill some trolls. They keep turning into Tortai. Where Tortai? You guys don't know Evil Trick. Evil Trick's part of my stream team. It's fantastic. Kanpu, what's up, friend? And Mochambre? I think is how you say that. Thank you very much for stopping by, everybody. Welcome, guys. You guys don't know me. My name is Greg. I'm visually impaired, and I stream a lot of Dwarf Fortress. I'm also pretty good at RimWorld when I put my mind to it. I just don't play it that much these days. Generally just on weekends. Dawnborn, hi, hello. And ID Crisis. Welcome to Dwarf Fortress, everybody. But yeah, no, Evil Trick does some of the best Dwarf Fortress gameplay on the internet. Also, Evil Trick, I was gonna ask you, what do you think of that extension? Is it good? By good, I mean, is it better than the other very popular Twitch integration mod for Rim? But if you've never seen Dwarf Fortress before, feel free to ask questions. This game is very complex, and it's a little difficult to follow if you're not certain what you're looking at, so feel free to ask questions. Why is nobody pulling the lever? I'm very upset about this. Lever's been queued up to be pulled. Oh, I see. Time off doesn't count this lever. There we go. We'll fix that. I mean, close enough, I'll take it. It's probably the best I'm gonna get. It's probably the best you're gonna get from me, to be honest. Because it's manual input by mods? Okay. Cool, yeah, I don't like the event spam at all. In fact, I would say that's the thing that kills me about that mod. Like, I can't stand it. Alright, so there's a bunch of trolls out here, these capital T's. We're gonna go kill them. I've just set out the order for my military to go kill these trolls that are just hanging out here. And outside, if you look at this awful red is actually pus, pungent slime, raining from the sky. We are in a haunted biome, so it's unpleasant, to put it simply. Here come my dwarves on their way out. Let's follow Stabby Mole. They're just gonna go pop in and hopefully horribly murder all of those trolls. Looks like they're making quick work of them. Don't mind all of the corpses literally fucking everywhere. Hopefully my military doesn't have panic attacks due to all of the corpses. Not entirely. Oh, I see. I'll just kind of hanging out in one spot. They're gonna run in there next and finish off the last of them. You're gonna go cook food? Yeah, you do that stuff. Thank you very much for the raid, dude. Thank you so much. Hopefully I take good care of your peeps. Would you look at that? Immediately one of my dwarves starts spazzing. It's Spitalier. Our time in the planets of myth is so brief. Begone, fear. Meanwhile, Unib over here, just a little horrified, but generally fine. And they head back down. Cactus has slipped into a depression. That's unfortunate. We shall pull the lever. Once somebody gets over there and pulls the lever, we'll be good. It's been a while since you had some fun. You should have more fun. The forgotten beast, Basan, has come. An enormous chinchilla composed of solid salt. It has a large mandibles and it undulates rhythmically. Beware its poisonous sting. What is it with salt? It's the second salt one we've had today, actually. But yeah, no, the reason I'm not going to subscribe to Disney Plus, is because there's so many subscription services for everything already, you know? Let's follow this thing. Military's been sent to kill it. Yeah, there's so many subscription services right now, and the whole point of these streaming subscription services, in my opinion, is to save money and not have to pay for cable. But if you have to pay for 15 different subscription services, or maybe not 15, but let's just say you're paying for Crunchyroll, incoming dwarves. All right, combat's about to begin. Let's follow whoever is first. Tredge in the dwarf squad. And it's dead. I mean, it was made of salt, okay? Let's make sure those doors are shut. Doors are shut. Excellent. That's just some random visitor. That's fine. Anyway, if you're paying like $10 to $15 a pop for streaming services and you're paying for half a dozen of them, you might as well almost be paying for cable again. So I don't see the purpose. So I will only subscribe to one subscription streaming service at a time. And I get everything I want from Netflix, honestly. Like, yeah, they were there first, but there's multiple shows that I enjoy that are getting new seasons soon, TM, that are all on Netflix. There are multiple shows I'm actively watching on Netflix. And I know some people really hate this about Netflix, but I actually really like it. A lot of people really hate the amount of like random crap that's just pumped out onto Netflix. But I like that because I love shitty, like, B movies. Since some people just tuned in, I'm going to do a real quick fortress tour. This is the main level of the fortress, which is mostly abandoned currently. We have all but abandoned it, just kind of like let the wilderness take over because it is so full of corpses, I don't think we could ever feasibly clean them out. Down here is our trap tunnel that we're currently finishing up, which is hopefully going to be a replacement defensive system from the, that. So there's that. Down here, if we fly down a little bit. Down here is my Baroness's quarters. It's a pity that she was horribly murdered. Over here on the right is our half-done animal training area that I never really finished. Down here we have a really depressed, injured dwarf, and our trading area, which apparently has elves that want to trade with us in here. That's unfortunate. Up here is our bedrooms and hospital, main crafting layer, our tavern and water wheels that are powering our artificial waterfall in the tavern. Eli, hi, how we do? And up on the right, we have our kitchens. Down here, we have our coffins and water reservoirs. Down here, we have our water drainage and our library. Temples. And then the rest is all just stuff that I've worked on down below. Down here is the middle cavern layer with a small room that's hollowed out there. Currently not used for anything, though. Over here, we have a mining shaft where we have mined out a whole bunch of adamant. In fact, we're about to go grab the last piece of it, I think. And this is as far down as the fortress goes. But if I go up just a little bit, I think it's... yeah, right here. I've kind of started carving out another area down here. I'm not entirely certain what we're going to do with it. Currently, nothing. But I do have a dining room that we've put down here in case dwarves are down here, so might also put like a bunkhouse down there. Basically, it's kind of like an emergency extra fort, if that makes sense. Maybe not an emergency, but like an extra fort. If it has a name, is it really forgotten? I guess you learn their name right after you see them for the first time. So it's currently mostly what we're working on is we're just making all of these adamant wafers. Wait, what? Radagast, what in the hell are you doing? Do I need to make a new manager? I think I do. Or Jack's treatment. Hopefully not a swords dwarf. You know what? Scrumpet just grew up. Scrumpet, do you have good analytical abilities? No, you don't. That's okay. Scrumpet is 12 years old and is now officially our manager. I hope you like your new job, Scrumpet. Assign chair to Scrumpet, who is currently meditating on order. Because apparently my mayor is just too damn busy to actually assist with anything in here. Peasants are child dwarves that just grew into adults. So now you're gonna go dump item, but like, I want you to go say yes to all those work orders I've put through, little dwarf. Well, hopefully I'll do that eventually. Read Melanite-bound Codex. That's an interesting thing to bind a codex in. You know what? Let's queue up lead goblets. Make a bunch of lead goblets. Let's just remove dump from everything here. It's fine. Let's just mash some garbage up. So to those of you who have watched my Today in Dwarf Fortress video that I put up this morning, what do you guys think of it? I tried to go a little bit more towards the humor than some of the previous ones. But honestly, I think some of my more recent ones have been not as great. Partially due to, like, my mood in general. But I think that, I've been feeling a little bit better as of late. You know, things have been kind of settling and getting back to a level of normal that I can handle. Which has been good. And obviously a lot of that is due to, you know, having you guys around to chat with every single day. You guys keep me going, believe it or not. In many ways, you guys keep me going. Hey, Arcania. Hi, hello. Scrumpet has become a manager. Yeah, finally figured that out, Scrumpet. There we go. Scrumpet is doing the jobs I need you to do. Excellent. All right, performer. What are you performing, if you don't mind me asking? Satisfied at work, delighted after watching a performance. She was embarrassed after watching a performance. I mean, currently you're just serving ale, which I guess is fine. Wasn't exactly what I was hoping you'd do, but... Today I learned performers also serve ale. Ah, I got you, Arcania. You were here? I mean, there's worse places you could end up. Yeah, no, Evil Trick decided to raid me, which was very, very nice of him. You know, today's been a good stream so far. We started off with some sponsored shenanigans, which was silly. That game was extremely silly. Absolutely silly. And now we're playing some dwarfs. Let's channel out another one of these. And every now and again, because I'm not, like, I'm not really what I would call a variety caster. I don't kind of just do whatever. Sometimes people need to threaten me with money to make me actually play random games. Which is fine. I will take money in exchange to play silly comedy games. So right now, I am trying to communicate with somebody in my building on how much they want on how much they are willing to, what's the word I'm looking for? pay for my parking space, which I'm trying to rent to them. Befit, what's up, dude? Have I tried Untitled Goose Game yet? No, because no one gave me code for it, and I don't want to spend money on it. Not that I think it's not worth the money or anything. I don't really have the money to spend on a short experience right now. But why do you ask? Spletic. He seems to have good taste. Yes, probably. I was mostly just making a joke. You ask everyone if they've played it? I mean, I'd probably enjoy it. But, yeah. What you been up to, Befit Zero? Since it's been a while. Also, the sun is finally no longer shining through the window and making me look like an orange. Although, honestly, I'd rather, like, look kind of orangey than have the problem of, you know, becoming a lord or some sort of god. Where you do a ton of server maintenance? Gotcha. Like, work where you can't watch? Because I know most of the time when you watch streams, you're working. Some migrants have arrived. Excellent. I just see a bunch of, Alright, hold on. Let's just lock our dwarves to the main levels. So that I can get those migrants in here. So I'm gonna have to open the door. Been away from the desk? I gotcha. Yeah, that's all. It's all good. You know, it is what it is. Those poor newbies. And my music decided to end. But yeah, no, it's good to see you, seriously. How many migrants arrived? And why is it 0? Oh, there's one. There's a farmer type. The great intuition and amazing merit and a natural ability with music, but he has a questionable spatial sense. Sees competition as wasteful and silly, and respects the law and power, and doesn't particularly value loyalty. Yeah, no, I kind of figured that's what you meant. When you said server maintenance, is that you have to be in the room. Which, you know, if that's what you gotta do for work, it's what you gotta do for work, right? Also, did you just re-up your sub? Because if you did, 1 year hat. Looks good. Is that a fisher dwarf? That is a fishery worker. 57, he's tough. There's a lot of willpower and a great memory. Personally believes that little is better in life than a good party. And views loyalty unfavorably. Is a complete scatterbrain and unable to focus on a single matter for more than a passing moment. There you go. And she is quick to form negative views about things and doesn't seek out excitement. Okay. She doesn't tend to hold on to grievances, and she tends to avoid crowds. She generally acts impartially and is rarely moved to mercy, and she tends to assume the worst of two outcomes. 57. Well, I can certainly put you on mining. Maybe as a side hustle, a little bit of stone detailing. There we go. Another farmer type. Yurist, of course. But of course. Another fishery? Come on. Unless this one is good at military stuff. Susceptible to disease and clumsy. Dreams of crafting a masterwork. Personally finds art offensive and would have it destroyed whenever possible. Sees the whole idea of taking time to master schools as appalling. And doesn't think one way or another about leisure time. And doesn't see the point of working hard. So you're a bad dwarf. You're just bad at being a dwarf. Just go be a miner. Thank you. To 74, that's a yak. What age is your dwarf? Your dwarf is 89 years old. Yes, 89 years old. And you guys are all working your way down. It's just some post-traumatic stress and disorder. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay. You're a big dwarf. You'll be fine. You work with people like her. They're really good at those descriptions are really good at making you envision a personality. Aloth the farmer. You can recruit humans, elves, and goblins, and plump helmet people, and kinda whatever people. Really. We also got ourselves an engraver. Consider the entry to the fortress hazing. If you make it through the fortress without being distressed, and if you can survive all of this, you're going to be very good in our fortress. You just have to make it through the front door without exploding into fits of tantrums. Different stats and things like life expectancy? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, dwarves can be several hundred, or not several hundred, but like 150 to 170-ish. Whereas elves are immortal, and humans live like 60, 70 years. Not sure about goblins, actually. I'm sure I could figure that out on a wiki pretty easily, though. Looks like there's a bunch of dwarves just kind of piling into the tavern, which is lovely. Some people down in the... Dwarf was stricken by melancholy. Oh, that's unfortunate. R.I.P., I guess. Nobody's down in the, Really? Oh, main levels doesn't allow for temples. Well, that's unfortunate. Now it does. Oh shit, a dwarf became a peasant. A child grew up. Olin has become a peasant. Although, this one isn't part of my fortress, I don't think. Huh. Also is overthrown by the stresses of day-to-day living and is just dying of panic attacks. And don't need to eat or drink? Really? Huh. I guess that makes sense. I didn't realize they didn't need to eat or drink. Just gonna pull that lever. There we go. They're all gonna go pile into there and pray. Or do what they do. Just need somebody to pull that lever. Once that lever's been pulled, then we can move on. We have 79 dwarves now. That's not bad, actually. Our numbers are slowly rising. Slowly. Now your worlds are much more balanced? Yeah, that seems legit. I don't think, well, I mean, I've seen people with hundreds of pawns in Rim. Beardless. But RimWorld's not really designed around having hundreds. RimWorld's designed to have about, like, between 10 and 40. What are the blue things? These? This is water. It's flowing water. It's flowing into my water wheels down here that are spinning axles that are powering pumps, which is pumping water from down here up into here, up to here, along here, and down into my tavern to give them a nice big old waterfall. Dwarves like being near waterfalls. Unless you're talking about something else that's blue, in which case, please point it out. That was it? Gotcha. Well, I'm glad I could be of service. If you have any other questions about what a thing is, please just say so. Has that lever been pulled? Yes, the lever's been pulled. All right, so I can remove them from that area and let them go back to work. All right, dwarfs, go back to work. If you wanna. Or don't if you don't wanna. It's all up to you guys, really. Bow, bow, bow. I'm sure that I probably had some jobs that got suspended from that. Yep. Construct building jobs. Let's unsuspend those. I mean, Dwarf Fortress will try and kill you at certain intervals too, but it's actually the like full-on simulation of the world is much more advanced than Rim, which is why I enjoy this game so much. RimWorld does some things better, but RimWorld's a much better min-maxing game, but as a creative base building and world simulation and story generator, Dwarf Fortress is much preferred in my opinion. There's just so much more meat here. It does actually simulate the world. It doesn't seem to. It does. Like, if your fortress dies in Dwarf Fortress, Arcania, or, like, let's just say I decide to retire it, I could go make another fortress, and that fortress would start the clock back up a couple months later, and dwarves from your previous fortress could migrate over, and they've done things since, and will have different skills that they've learned. Stuff like that. You know, you can just let the AI take over for a bit and go be in a different part of the world in a different fortress, and then go back, and the AI will have expanded on and worked on your fortress. Like, everything is simulated. It also has things like liquid physics, you know? Like in RimWorld, if there's a river somewhere, it's just a river. You can't redirect that river. You can't do anything crazy. You can't make it overflow. You can't move the water from one place to another. Dwarf Fortress, you can kill things with water pressure. Like the sheer insta pressure of water shooting out of a funnel, hitting something can kill it. So... I mean, it's funny that, because Tynan actually is on record stating that he didn't want to do the type of world generation that Dwarf Fortress has because it's too complicated. He's just like, I don't want to do this because it's too hard, basically. Which I always think is funny. A poet has gone berserk. A goblin poet has gone berserk. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, it looks like the other poets got this for me. It's just a goblin. Beat the crap out of him, please. Wow, he's still alive. Ooh. Ooh. There's a lot of blood that came out of nowhere. Why there's so much blinking? So the game can only render one tile at a time. I'll explain why there's so much blinking in a second. Let's just look at this elf poet getting this shit kicked out of him because it's funny. Oh, he's still alive. The elf poet punches the goblin in the head with her left hand, bruising the muscle. The force twists the neck, tearing apart the skin. Is the goblin still alive? There you are. This guy. Yeah, no, they're just like punching the crap out of him. And he's puking. No, I get it. RimWorld is more of a game than Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is more of a simulator. But yeah, the reason things are blinking. So, Dwarf Fortress can only give you one tile at a time per square. So if there's things occupying multiple squares, they'll blink. Example. This dwarf, for example, is blinking because of effects, right? It's blinking because the dwarf is stressed, which is the down red flashing arrow. If they're hungry, it's a brown arrow. If they're thirsty, it's a blue arrow. So there's he's got a flashing down arrow. Now he's got an injury on his right hand. And that is why he's flickering with that kind of green, not green square, but that's why he's flickering even faster, because he's injured. And he's also winded, which isn't helping. So as this dwarf moves around, that X appears saying that he's winded, which might be because of the injury, might be because of something else. The little square that is flashing on him is stating that he has an injury. And now this dwarf is carrying the goblin corpse, so it's flickering between the goblin corpse, which has the red background, which signifies that it's dead, plus all of the other effects that are on the dwarf. It's actually extremely clear once you stare at it for a little bit, but initially it can be kind of visually overwhelming. These dwarves almost appear to be completely disappearing, but that's because they are carrying seeds, which is a tiny little dot. And so because the game can only show you the dwarf, and then the seed, and then the dwarf, and then the seed, you can actually see them moving, and they're gonna go plant their seeds. They run over onto the flower bed, and they planted the seed, and now the dwarf moves away. Stuff like that, you know? There's like 6 inches of snow. Really? That's a lot of snow. We had snow in April a couple of years ago, which was very strange. Like, way late. It was funny because it was like nice and warm outside and people were walking around in t-shirts, and then like we had a week of snow and then it just kind of went back to being warm. It was very odd. Does that make any sense, Cramp, though? Like, is the description helping at all? These letters that are walking around out here are all different animals. These are drothlas, which are these kind of large grazing animals that live underground. We have a bunch of sheep, which are these S's. The red ones are lambs. So usually if something is red, it means it's a baby. So we have these adult drothlas and then baby drothlas. These are all rams or iwis. I actually don't know how to pronounce that word. But either boy or girl sheep. And then we have lambs as well. And we also have a bunch of rabbits, which make good soup. Yep. The dwarves are the small faces, and the dwarves' job, or not the job that they're necessarily doing, but their highest skill is signified by color. So, for example, my miners are that kind of, like, dark gray color, almost. Stoneworkers are white. Woodworkers are yellow. Rangers are green. Jewelers are slightly lighter green. Metalsmiths are, like, dark gray. Crafts dwarves are like that kind of bluey color. The slightly brighter blue color are peasants, which are like untrained dwarves that have no skills. Nobles and admins are pink. Dwarven children are red. Fishery workers are blue. You can completely customize all of these colors too, so you can make them all freaking orange if you wanted to. The engineers are orange, and then over on the right, military dwarves have a slightly different sprite. But they have little horns on their head, and they have 11. We have 11 swords dwarves and 1 marks dwarf running around. I think the marks dwarf's actually a mercenary, not one of mine. But there's a really good wiki page that shows all of the effects of dwarves. DF wiki effects. I think it's... Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the name or what that wiki page was called, but it was a very useful one. Really? In June? All right. That's random. So the X's are many things. The X's are bins. The X's are stairs. So in this case, these are stairs. These are up-down stairs. Basically, spiral staircases, essentially. These are bins. So boxes that are filled with stuff. So those are kind of the 2 main uses for the X's. There's a couple others. They can also be floodgates or show status effects on dwarves. Also, I should mention this game's free. By the way, you can just go download it. Like, it's a RAR file that you download that's like 200 megs. You can just go get this game for free if you would like to try it. If you are so brave. Wonder if my beardster is able to go work. But why would I do that when I could just do this? Like, I already beat you to it. Wait, what do you mean? Actually, no, I do know what you mean now that you say. I reread that, I understand. The thing is, like, it's not my tile set, right? And I'm planning on editing it, so I'd need to do that once I've edited it. But that might not be a bad idea, actually. Might not be a bad idea. Can you build up? Absolutely. Totally. I mean, I've built walls in places. You can build walls and then floors on top of the walls, and then, like, for example, this right here, this was actually a part of the map. It was a generated road, which is underground, right? We actually built these walls around the edges. Actually, kind of a project that I'm sort of planning right now. Are they still digging those channels? No, I guess not. I guess they finished. A project that I'm kind of planning on working on is over... Where is it exactly? Yeah, right here. I've got this kind of hole in the ground that I'm working on. Actually, we should probably just do this. But yeah, I've got this thing down here, right? Which I'm digging down. What I might do with this area is build a tower in here, because this is where the adamant is. So maybe I will, once I'm done digging out the spire here, maybe I'll build something in this pit, is kind of a plan that I've had. Because I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, no, you can totally build like a tower to the sky. I built one fortress that was basically just a tower. It died, unfortunately, to a very nasty werevirus infection. But, yeah, it's good fun. You can also build like a tavern up on the surface, for example, and then invite all of the local friends and neighbors and traveling bards to come and hang out there and serve them beer. You can actually just play this game like it's Harvest Moon. There's also a mode where you can take control over one particular dwarf, one single dwarf, and go for a walk. And then die to something eventually. Death is inevitable. It is true. So 100 level... 100 level tall cactus. Really? Did you name him Tigger? Please tell me you named him Tigger. I really hope you named him Tigger. But how did the Tiger Man wrestler go? Yeah, so this is for... Because I don't think I've shown it today, but this is the world map. That little flashing X is where we are. If I zoom out, that's a small world that's been generated. So this is our fortress right here, right? Now, all around here, there are other dwarven fortresses that all have their own populations. This one actually got destroyed at some point, so there's no civilized population there. But down here, there's... On the other side of the haunted forest, there's actually quite a few little goblin settlements. The Pits of Menaced Senses, for example. Or the Pits of Neutrofell. Yeah, so there's like a good number of like little things that we can go murder. Up here there is a tower. Dwarven Tower of a Trader Hithmic? Words. There's actually a volcano over here in the middle of a mountain. Which is cool. Oh, actually, a button I should hit. Oopsies, that's the wrong button. If I go in here and then I hit N, news and happenings, you can actually see where armies have been moving around. Although you only get updates on the news and happenings when either traveling bards and poets give you rumors or news, or a trader shows up and gives you rumors and news. So you don't always know what's going on in the world unless somebody's shown up and told you. If you have a public tavern, you'll occasionally get like, a goblin scholar has shared rumors from beyond your fortress. Anything is possible. There's a very famous fortress that I don't know if they did world domination, but they conquered hell and then built a glass tower from hell to the sky. It's taken them thousands of hours to do it, but to my knowledge, that fortress is still going. So yeah, you can totally do some really dumb stuff. Isn't it like Anarchist Crystal or something? It's like something crystal. But yeah, no, totally. You can totally achieve Arch Crystal. That's it. Yeah, Arch Crystal. You can absolutely achieve world domination. It's just not exactly easy. You can find many things if you dig deep enough. You can find many, 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 many things. You might even find a cave-in. You might even find a large skinless ass with a trunk and mandibles. You okay there, Dwarf? Just a mild mining accident. Just a cave-in, you know. Her ribs are fractured. Oh no! You poor Dwarf. Like this wall of text screen, it might just look like a freaky wall of text, but this is actually like your stats screen. This is where like you figure out the mental capacity of the dwarf. So it's like she has a really good sense of empathy. You don't want to put this dwarf into the military because they'll feel terrible for killing anything. She personally believes that perseverance is one of the greatest qualities, which is probably why they haven't gone and lay down in the hospital yet. Instead, they're continuing to mine. Finds so-called dignified people disgusting. Probably will get bad moods around like bards and poets and scholars. Believes those who sacrifice for others should be deeply respected. So has high respect for the military type deal. Values honesty and a negative view of has a negative view of those who exercise power over others. Doesn't like having people in charge of them. Values loyalty and doesn't respect the society that has settled into harmony without debate and strife. Basically says like if you're living in a utopia, that's actually hell. And if sees life as unfair, doesn't mind it that way. Dreams of mastering a skill. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm aware that Arch Crystal's insane. It's another cave-in. This is the same dwarf that fell. It was the same dwarf that fell. God damn it. Come on. Is anybody dead yet? There we go. We got ourselves a death, unfortunately. Who died? Ashen died. R.I.P. We just lost a miner. This is the last layer I need to dig out, too. Ah, man. Yushirir has been injured. Hopefully somebody comes to recover the wounded. The wall of text is horrible. You get used to it. Trust me, like you can just I can look at that wall of text and just pick out what needs to be read. Everything is color coded, so it's actually really easy to just be like, okay, what do I need to see here? What information do I need to get out of this? It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's not really an issue. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this looks terrible if you're just looking at it for the first time, but once you mess with it for like more than 5 minutes, you realize it's fine. When I have so many cave-ins? Good question. I don't normally have so many cave-ins. Hopefully that answers your question. Is anybody coming here to remove this corpse? Yes, good. Come on, dwarf, you can walk it off. You know you can. Besides, I think the cave-ins are done. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, they finally found him dead. That's fine. That dwarf was in a bad mood anyway. I mean, to be fair, we were caving in stuff up here to block the water off. Actually, I should probably do that a little bit more, because I'd like to get the last of this. I'd really like to get the last of this. Hey, Wendy. Safer working conditions? This isn't a democracy. Please. Safe working conditions for dwarves. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Right here is where I need to drop this to. DR. Right there. Actually no, let's start with up here. You hear this? Comedy, Chan? People want safe working conditions for dwarves. Here's the thing you need to know about dwarves, right? They don't need safe working conditions. They're dwarves. They're fine. This might seem a little complicated, but I'm intentionally caving stuff in. Only right dwarves fight for is to party? No, they just demand more alcohol. As long as dwarves are nice and good and drunk, dwarves are happy. Drunk dwarf is a good dwarf. You don't ever want to see a sober dwarf. A sober dwarf is a bad sight. Alright, now they're gonna mine out the upper area. Then we can mine out that. Then we'll have a nice big old block that we can drop. And hopefully nobody gets taken with it. That would be unfortunate. Apparently my mayor has ended a mandate. Now please don't stand on it while you... Oh god, why are you doing that? Okay, dwarf, move please. They were gonna drop each other into the water. Unless the dwarf is a vampire? I mean, they'll still drink. They just feel nothing. Even vampires will drink alcohol, they just don't like it. They'd rather drink blood. They need to drink blood. Yeah, dwarves can be vampires. The game gives you absolutely no indication that they are a vampire. Which is fun. The game just won't tell you. You get to figure that out. You get to figure out how to tell if they're a vampire. What makes them a vampire. When they're gonna kill again. Nice thing about having a vampire in your fortress, though, is they're immortal. So they can do tedious jobs for all eternity. You get vampires less often? You just need an older world. Because you need time for things to get cursed. Long story short, in order to get a vampire, you need... You need dwarves to get cursed, right? You usually do 500-year-old? That's right. Wait, what? What killed MMXSC? Oh my god. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Didn't go back inside after the fight. Starved to death. You're supposed to go inside after the fight, Dwarf. I thought I told everybody to go inside. I guess not. Well, shit. Gross negligence on my part with that one. Yeah, no, that's weird. I mean, obviously, to a level, it's all just RNG based, right, Kiseki? So if the numbers don't roll in your favor, yeah. Rimtar withdraws from society. A strange mood, is it? I really hope he grabs some adamant. Almost everyone was a werebeast. I mean, that makes a degree of sense. It's claimed a leatherworks. Oh, that's interesting. Why is a stoneworker claiming a leatherworks? Huh. So, moods, for those of you who don't know, are, sort of like, well, sort of like a combination. RimWorld stole this idea and split it off into two separate things. Split it off into inspirations and tantrums, basically. They split it off into breaking and inspirations. So this is sort of like an inspiration. So a dwarf will demand a bunch of very specific materials, and we'll go get those materials and then make a cool item, or completely useless item, depending. Here's the thing, though. The game's not very specific about what items they need, and if they don't get the items that they need, they will go insane. So, it's basically just, at this point in the game, it's like, oh, you just watch them run around for a bit and collect stuff, but... if you're really early on, it can be very, very, very scary. It's funny because usually after a huge siege on any location, even bigger. Huh. Yeah, no, I've seen stuff like that. Well, I mean, we just had to kill a bunch of trolls that were turning into werebeasts once a month that were just living on the surface. Darn, I was hoping that you... Okay, hold on a second. If I forbid this in your hands, are you gonna have a panic attack? No, he'll just keep using them. Okay, fine. I was just really hoping that this dwarf would go get adamant instead. And say he's using lead bars. Only so much you can do. You grab gem. But yeah, no, this, honestly, Dwarf Fortress is just an extremely deep, an extremely interesting game. And there's so much to love here. Considering it's free, it's like, if you like this type of game, you should really try it. You have a good night, Beardless. Also, chat room, I'm gonna have a busy weekend. Streams might be a little bit short over the weekend. And the reason for this is pretty simple. Last night I realized... Ooh, what else did you grab? Pig leather, llama leather, sheep leather, stray sheep bone, wax opals, lead bars, tapered baguette cut wax opals, more bone and table cut wax opals. That's gonna be an interesting one. Anyway, I kind of spur of the moment bought tickets to go see a metal show. I'm gonna go see Ailstorm on Saturday. Now, normally that's like, okay, well, that's totally just a normal blind thing. I'm also going to go see In Flames the next day. And there is a part of me that is also tempted to go see another band the day after. So, it's a $10 show. You wish you could go see Ailstorm? Yeah, the last time they were here not too long ago, actually, but they had to cancel the show last minute and the rest of their tour because two of them got strep throat, which was very unfortunate. So yeah, no, on Saturday I'm going to go see them, and then the day after. And then next week, the reason I might skip the show on Monday is because the week after, a week from now, Ensafirm is gonna be here, which is like maybe the most Dwarf Fortress appropriate music. I'd show their music, but it would immediately mute my VOD. Hey King, what's up, dude? Yeah, I'd show their music, but it would immediately mute my VOD, so I won't. But it's like them, and they're touring with Kelme, I think is how you say it, which is another really good band. Go see Sabaton. I've seen them twice. Go see Sabaton. Just go see Sabaton. Sabaton is so much fun. So much fun. It's like the happiest crowds you'll ever see. What graphics? How can you have a problem with graphics if there are none? I'll stop being an asshole. You have no idea what's happening on the screen half the time, and you tried multiple times to get into it, and you prefer watching streams like this of it? Just keep playing it. Like, literally just keep playing it. That's all I can say. If you are interested in getting into the game, just keep playing it. Because it's just a matter of time, really. But if I cut that out... Actually, it will be fine. Okay, so actually, I did this wrong. Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where you have kind of the Matrix moment. I don't even see it anymore. Wait, what? What is holding this thing? Cavern floor. I actually don't know what's holding this up. Maybe it's the tree. Cavern open space. There's a lot of really... I mean, Captain Duck stuff is pretty out of date, but there's a lot of really good tutorials out there. I've made some that are okay, because I'm not great at tutorials, but Krug Smash's Getting Started Guide is great. Like, it's really just... To give you an idea, the first time I started really trying to get into Dwarf Fortress, I'd say it took me about an hour and a half of just kind of going, what am I looking at here? To figure it out. And I did. It's not that bad. Yeah, no, Sabaton shows are just like a huge crowd of people just having fun. Sabaton is so much fun. Yeah, I have no idea what's holding this up. Genuinely. It's got to just be the tree below it. Like, that's... It's got to be it, yeah? Maybe that'll do it. Jacques' treatment, the mayor has been re-elected. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's the trees holding it up. Fuck. That is a pain. Alright, well, let's just do this. I'm just gonna mine out this whole thing right here. So if that's being held up, then I guess I could block it down here. What I'm trying to do right now is drop a Z level of stone. We'll do it right here. I'm trying to drop a Z level worth of stone down into the water so that it blocks dang it. I might have to do it from the layer above. So that it blocks off the water flow so that I can mine out areas. So Rimtar, the stoneworker, has created Loki Shah Thrilot, a pig leather trousers. A pig leather trousers. A pig leather trouser. It's a weird wording. Claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Locum Lashmasons. Do you know? It's worth 59,160. This is a pig leather trousers. All craft dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is decorated with pig leather and sheep's leather, and encircled with bands of sheep bone and pear-cut wax opals. This object menaces with spikes of llama leather and lead. On the item is an image of a Limul, rhythm whipped. The dwarf and Lincott mutones. The nail of Gorges, the dwarf, in sheep bone. Lincott, the nail of Gorges, is striking down Limul, rhythm whipped. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Limul, rhythm whipped, by the dwarf Lincott mutones, the nail of grapes, in the teeth of mist in 244. On the item is an image of a peregrine falcon in wax opal. Another thing that's probably worth mentioning. If the graphics are the thing that is too much for you, right? If you can't handle basic tile sets like this one, allow me to introduce you to Space Fox. This is a very popular tile set for Dwarf Fortress. It is free. You can just go grab it. Here's what it looks like. It will make your game run a little slower because the game has to render in graphics instead of just ASCII. So there is that. But that's what it looks like. This is really easy to install too. There's plenty of instructions and things explaining how to install it. I hope that William is still here, but yeah, it's really easy to set this stuff up. Starter pack, does it? No, it does it include Space Fox? I thought it didn't. Does it? I thought that it included 2 others, but not Space Fox. I thought it was like Fabian, or whatever the heck that one's called. And then another one. Stabby Mal has become a stoneworker. Why? Wait, what? R&D sim is also 10. Fuck! I feel so stupid, chat room. Durable and strong. Would this dwarf be fine in the military? Questionable spatial sense. A lot of willpower. Personally believes that those who sacrifice for others should be deeply respected. Sees the pursuit, dreams of raising a family. Careful with resources. Likes to brawl. Yeah, get in the military. I lost 2 named dwarves because I literally just locked them outside. Ability to read emotions well. In terms of mastering a skill. Personally is somewhat disgusted by romance and sees the pursuit of art silly and values sacrifice. You can also join the military. You're kind of shit at it right now, but you'll get better. Also, I don't know if William is still here. Might be off watching Krug Smash videos, but I also do these little videos, which are like kind of little mini stories. If you want to go watch little mini Dwarf Fort stories, there's one. That's actually of this fortress. Also, thank you very much to everybody who's tuned in today, you know? There's a whole lot of you guys here. Means a whole lot to have, like, roughly 100 people watching Dwarf Fortress. Because, at the end of the day, this is a game that a lot of people either A, don't know exists, or B, don't care to look. And the fact that there's 100 people watching this stream is super cool. Spitalia, are you getting any better? Lonely after being away from family, restless after being able to practice the craft. I need to take Spitalia out of the
Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal.
My dude, how's things? How you been? Let's put you on strand extraction. Armor, how's things? Thank you very much for the 100 bits, man. Thanks for the $1. I hope that you're doing well. It was a great text-to-speech. Isn't MechWarrior out soon? Soon, TM? Bleh with the side of meh. I know the feel. 12:10? Okay. Counting down the days, are we? Chat, do you guys want to watch me stream MechWarrior? I know that's like a not very me game, but is that something you guys want to see me stream? Probably just for after hours. I like big robots, and I have a HOTAS, so I'd want to set up my HOTAS for once. Actually use the damn thing. And he'd be unable to play it, fair enough. No play Pigeon. Come on, man. You go play Pigeon, that game's free. Maybe if they pay me again. I mean, if they offer me more money to play more Pigeon Simulator, I'm in. I'm gonna be honest. But they gotta offer me money to do it. Like, I hate to sell out, but MechWarrior is like the opposite. It's like Pigeons, but significantly less serious. Wait, more serious, rather. Although I'm not sure what has more destructive power, that pigeon or giant robots. What is wrong with you, Armor? I mean, to be fair, Star Citizen's actually gonna get to a point where it's a video game now, so there is that. Like, it's actually a playable video game with stuff to do in it now. It's also really pretty. I mean, hell, it's probably got more gameplay than a lot of artsy indie games. And if you just think of it like that, if you think of it as an artsy indie game, it's sure, why not? All right, so we have some more migrants. We have a clother who's shown up immediately. All right, so we're just gonna put them onto lock our dwarves to the main levels. jump to one of our dwarves down here, ask them to pull this lever, open the front door. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily something that's wrong with you. Armor, I think you're fine. Yay, we actually have some sword masters now. That's cool. Sword masters are the highest level of swords, Dwarf. This one doesn't see anything or feel anything when you see dead bodies, which is good. Ooh, you're very strong, Urvad. Very flimsy. That's good, though. We can work on that. Amazing memory, a good kinesthetic sense, and a good willpower. Personally, finds sacrifice to be of the highest ideals. He is in complete scatterbrain, unable to focus on a single matter for more than a passing moment. He is bashful and grounded in reality, and he is always tense. All right. Get in the military. After you're done listening to someone tell a story. Who's telling a story? Listen to story. Trying to spot who's telling the story, because if I can spot who's telling the story... So the story that they're listening to is in the early summer of the year 260, the dwarf Jock's treatment ceased to be the mayor of the Brew of Merc, which is here. But later we re-elected him, actually, in about 2 years later. We had an elf as a mayor, a brief stint of having an elf as our mayor, and then dwarf murdered him. As you do. As you do. You commit glorious murder on silly, silly elves. Would you like that? We have 78 dwarves now. We have a few new arrivals. You're a beekeeper, Atur. Believes that perseverance. He personally believes that perseverance is one of the highest qualities. Also, if anybody would like a dwarf, just let me know, hey? It's one of the highest qualities somebody can have, views loyalty unfavorably, and sees life as unfair and doesn't mind it that way, and thinks friendship is important and values honesty. Dreams of raising a family. He would never under any circumstances speak up or put forth his point of view in a discussion. He is intellectually stubborn, rarely changing his mind during a debate, regardless of the merits. He can be very happy and optimistic in himself, and he presents himself modestly. All right. Well, you can join the military. Looks like we've got a thresher. Quite durable. Dreams of creating a great work of art. Yeah, sure, you can also join the military. I don't know how well you'll do, but you can also join. So aside from being kind of bleh and thinking about buying Star Citizen, how have you been, Armor? Mighty and quick to heal, but clumsy and quite susceptible to disease. Poor creativity. Personally finds friendship burdensome and doesn't really value merrymaking. Join the military. So I don't need a fishery worker. Farmer. Dreams of raising a family. Generally, if they dream of raising their family, they'll be bad in the military. Cracks under pressure. Yeah, I know you won't be good. How about you? Dreams of mastering a skill. Disregards tradition. She does not generally respond to emotional appeals, and she's brave in the face of imminent danger, very strong. You do have a good sense of empathy. You've killed somebody before. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Get in the military. Please, dwarf. Interesting. A depressed dwarf. Interesting. Where did you come from? Glassmaker? Is a citizen of the Archers of Craft and a member of the Brew of Murk, which is us. He's a former member of the Worthy Bodice and a former member of the Polished Urn and a former member of the Somber Die. That was us. Why would you say that, Freskins? And Olin the pump operator. Could use another engineer. It's never a good sign? That's not true. They tend to go insane? Well, that's fine. We have plenty of those already. Although I might just immediately expel that dwarf. Also, bad things can just be listed as interesting. Why can't I just be like, oh, that's interesting? Now let's put our dwarves on time off. Take all of our military off of squatting so that they don't get stuck outside again. Send them all into the tavern. Give everybody a good break. And have them train on unarmed ogres. I actually haven't seen ogres in like 2 or 3 worlds. I used to frequently get invaded by them alongside of, what's it called? Alongside of goblins, but they haven't in a very long time. It has been a very long time. Alright, I've been streaming for 4 hours and 15 minutes, chat room. Can I ask you guys to do me a big favor real quick? Could everybody here type in the word beer and let's see how many beers we can get. I'm gonna take a few second break and go grab me a sandwich. I will be back. I will be back in like a minute. I return with my sandwich. Dwarves can take a break and streamer can take a break. We actually are getting to the point now where I think we might have a big enough military that I can actually just straight up attack enemies that attack me now, instead of having to just dance around it for ages. There are less depressed dwarves than we had before, because most of the depressed ones have either died or gone away. Now we're just waiting on that lever to get pulled. Once the lever gets pulled, then we can spread back out into the fortress. This dwarf is reciting poetry. This dwarf is reciting some poetry. It's called Trifles, and it is an example of the embraced queen. The work has no particular subject, and overall the poetry is not awful, but not very good either. At least the dwarf is trying. Because dwarves can learn poetry, right? Everything's good, is the dwarf's thought. Seems to be pretty happy about this whole stand there and recite poetry thing. I did good on my sandwich today, shit. That's raw onion, zucchini, tiny little bit of ham, and some fancy Gouda cheese. I'm actually just going to let the dwarves sit here for a bit and hope that they get some dancing in or relieve some stress. Like this dwarf, you know? This pump operator. He's kind of upset currently, but hanging out in this area will help with that. So chat room, are we all surviving the week? You've made it to hump day. You're doing pretty good. All right, lunch break seems to be done at this point. Wow, two dwarves just got into a fist fight. No, they didn't. Okay, I thought they did. One was just already injured. Who's now telling a story or reciting poetry or something? He's telling a story. What story are you telling? He's telling the story of how in the midwinter of 261, the dwarf Ibel Bolt Trusted became the chief medical dwarf of the Brew of Merc. Probably telling, I would assume, the newcomers to the fortress about things that we have done. So, Charon, I'm curious. What's everybody here's thought on the Disney Plus? My thoughts are pretty simple. I don't want to subscribe to another subscription service. Straight up, I just don't want to do it. So what about you guys, chat? Or anybody here? Is anybody also, the other thing I want to ask you guys, anybody here jumping on that Google Stadia hype train? Yeah, right, Bubblehead? Fuck Disney? I agree. I could not agree more, sir. My ex is actually in Disneyland right now, oddly enough. But yeah, no, I've gotten sour on Disney recently. The only reason why I would consider it would be to watch The Mandalorian, but at the same time, I think to myself, I'm like, man, I have not enjoyed most of the recent Disney output for Star Wars related stuff. So why would I like this? How about you unsubscribe from all the streaming services, or pick one and stick to it, which is kind of what I do. Like, I subscribe to one at a time. Like, if I'm gonna subscribe to Disney, I'm gonna unsubscribe from Netflix. If I'm gonna subscribe to something else, I'm gonna long story short, I will only really actively subscribe to a single service. And if, what's the word I'm looking for here? If there's just a billion different services, I'll just pick one. But you should unsubscribe from all of the services and then just put the money into Twitch. You know, subscribe to Twitch.tv/blindIRL for $4.99 a month. It's cheaper than Netflix. You know exactly what you're getting because you get it right now. Except minus the ads. It's good enough, yes. No, totally, it absolutely is. That's kind of what I meant. I'm more just like bullshitting. Really hope that this stress relief is actually helping, especially the more upset dwarves. How's this one doing? Tenderness talking with a spouse. Oh, really? Interesting. Husband and wife dwarf. It really sucks when dwarves come in alone without their loved ones, and then they just get upset all the time because they haven't been around their loved ones. I can get what I want to see without us using a service. Yeah. It's funny, I've been reading articles about how film piracy is on the rise again, and it's like, well, it's because not everything is on one place now. It's all fracturing again, you know? I constantly have people asking me if I watch HBO stuff. I just don't want to pay for HBO. Like, frankly, I don't want to give HBO money, you know? And I know a lot of people are just like, wait, but like, have you seen this? I think it's is it Mr. Robot that everybody was fucking raving about? Like, I'm sure this show's fantastic, but like, I am not gonna put money into another streaming service. And that's kind of how I feel about Google Stadia too. Like, I have this really weird feeling that Google Stadia is just gonna be DOA. And I know some people, mostly through this industry and that's mostly on Twitter actually, who have been talking about how, yeah, no, there's one person I know in particular who has sold both of his consoles, sold the gaming PC. He still has his work laptop, but that's it. His work Mac, and has pre-ordered Google Stadia. Think about all those poor HBO investors. Yeah, those poor HBO investors can sit on a fucking dick. Okay, yeah, we need to take them off this before those dwarves starve to death. because they were stuck. Break time's over, dwarves. Not a whole lot, Metroid, and yourself? You can't see it working well. Yeah, neither can I. It was actually kind of funny. During all of the... I'm sure you guys are familiar with the Blizzard drama. To do with China and Blitzchung and all that stuff. If you aren't, just like look up Blizzard Hearthstone. You'll figure it out. Anyway, there was a post that I saw on Reddit of some guy arguing in favor of Blizzard, saying that Blizzard did the exact right thing because this person was a stockholder in Blizzard stock and expected Blizzard to do the thing that would make him the most money. And I'm sitting there going like, man, you poor soul. Not. Well, actually, technically it's Activision Blizzard stock, but you know. I think I have some gods that are heavily worshipped that I don't have a temple for. So let's just real quick, what temples do I have? Toril, Idrath, Ignak, Thoresh, Burden, the Tenuous Claw, 2 to the Claw, the Silver Treasures, the Copper Shell, and the Gray Saffron. Also, hello, Concealed. You end up getting everything eventually. Yeah, that and more games are coming to PC every year, right? Especially like in a world where Google Stadia exists, why would I use Google Stadia when I could just, if I really want to pay for a subscription service to a thing, just get Game Pass. Game Pass is a significantly better service in almost every way. The guy on Reddit? King? He had a small siege. While handling the corpses, the Atom Smasher, a bunch of dwarves got horrified and one of them lost it. Yep. What did the dwarf do? Actually, I might need... Wait, why am I making potash from lye? Just make lye. The hell? Okay, yeah, no, totally, I agree, King. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good people in China, but man... Their governmental structure is a thing. Bloodied a few noses and got arrested and put in jail. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. I would have a jail, but I literally don't have enough dwarves to spare, so I don't really want to go throwing half my dwarves in prison. It's literally, I need more dwarves. What gems do I has? Rough gems. A whole lot. The game lags when I hit tanned hides because there's so many of them. It's ridiculous. Resin opals. Pyrope. I think it was 8 that I had. Also, a little jealous of Baron right now. I think that's the chats. Yep, that's a mullet. That's definitely the chats. If you like punk rock, look up the chats. They're a fucking riot. Personal beds and tables. Yep. I think I might make a prison now that like we're in a bit of a better spot Carl, yep. I don't think I have one to mold out. Now I do. Actually, know where would be a nice place for a prison? That's maybe a little deep. Let's go like right here. Just when you're making your prison cells, just make sure that the dwarves can actually get to the stuff that you give them. Like if you give them all sorts of nice amenities, that's great, but just make sure they actually have access to said words are hard. Words are really hard. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's give them 2 walls in between so we can engrave them. 1, 2. There we go. That'll be our prison. I wonder, actually, I could probably make chains out of adamant. Ooh. I wonder if dwarves would like adamant chains. Adamant Chains, by the way, is my new Alice in Chains cover band. Except we retheme all the songs to be dwarf themed. Yep. No, absolutely. There are more like mental hospitals. But here's the thing. They have a tendency to also make dwarves go more insane. Depends on the dwarf's mood. Yeah, for a bass player. What, adamant chains? Let's just make 10 adamant chains. Adamant chains. Adamant chains. Sorry, that's just funny to me. Apparently I have, I'm all out of wafers. Oh god. Got more things to make out of adamant than I'm any good. You was gonna head off to bed? Alrighty, animal. You have a good night's sleep. Yeah, the higher the value, the better the jail is. We could do silver floor. Or give them all statues. I think we can give them all a statue, a chain, a bed, a table, a chair. I think we could make all of that work. We finished preparing 100 fine meals. The forgotten beast, Zanar Ostar, has come. A great humanoid composed of green glass. It has wings, and it appears to be emaciated. Beware its deadly spittle. That's a spooky one. That's definitely a spooky one. Dwarves are running down. We'll give my recruits something to practice on. Although it's made out of glass, I don't know how strong glass is going to be. It might just shatter. It's like a crystalline entity. Great humanoid composed of glass. It also doesn't seem to be flying considering it has wings. The wings could make it really scary. I never played Medieval. Oh, here come the dwarves. Okay, so it's gonna go and try and destroy the door. Oh, no, it's just gonna run straight through. There go the dwarves. Oh, there goes the spittle. Ooh, bits of it flew everywhere. Alright, alright. Alright, so it seems to... everybody seems to have jumped out of the way. The flying heart of Burial's forgotten beast extract misses the militia commander. Miss. Yeah, I don't think it hit any of us. It just kind of fell over, and then we just kind of smashed it to death. That's good. For a swordmaster bit it in the lower body and fractured it. I don't know if biting glass is the wisest thing to do. Militia captain stabs the forgotten beast in the lower body with her adamantine sword. It is mostly cut away, and it's mostly cut away from the rest of the torso. Not bad. The Heart of Burials, the forgotten beast. This dwarf will now be known as Metroid. Welcome to the fortress, Metroid. You were vengeful upon joining the existing conflict. 55 years old, born on the 9th of Slate in the year 178. She personally believes war is preferable to peace in general, and can't fathom why anyone would want to live in an orderly and harmonious society. Finds friendship burdensome and sees perseverance in the face of adversity bullheaded and rather foolish. Dreams of mastering a skill. She has a low sense of self-esteem and is very rarely moved by curiosity. And she doesn't focus on material goods, and she can sometimes act without deliberation. There we go. Yeah, you don't want to get bit by a dwarf. It's like getting bit by a dog. Although I will say this, human bites have a significantly higher chance of becoming infected than dog bites. Human mouths are actually, like, disgusting. Human mouths are filled with all kinds of fun as hell bacteria. All kinds of fun as hell bacteria. Wait, am I out of adamant or something? Like, what's going on? No? Oh, we must be out of coal. That must be the problem. We must be out of coal. All these trees are filled at ground level. Although this is said to be an excessively bewilderized translation. Huh. When his hands are higher than your head, his groin is on level with your teeth. That is a... I don't get it. What, human mouths? Yeah. You don't want to be... No, I'm talking about in real life. You don't want to be bit by a human. If a human bites you and it draws blood, it's disgusting. Like, you'd be better off getting bit by a dog because their saliva is a natural disinfectant. I mean, I think it depends on the dwarf and the humans. Some humans are rather short and some dwarves are rather tall. But yes, I wouldn't want to be bit in the groin by a dwarf. I can agree with this. I can get behind this. And I think that you guys can agree with this too. You don't want to get bit by a people. I haven't really slept well this week. Kind of sucks. Like, at least I've been sleeping. I just have this tendency to just kind of wake up way too early. So, like, I've been getting up weirdly early, and it's not fun. Which means, like, around this point in the stream, almost every day, I get kind of... If that makes any sense. I'm gonna stand up. 2 seconds, guys. The old stretch was good. Now we're standing. Oh, you fell asleep? Ah, gotcha. We've got ourselves a masterpiece lead goblet getting made by Beardster. Oh, Beardstir's doing all right. Beardster was pretty bored for a while there. Euphoric satisfied at work, good to see. Alright, so beds. We also need beds. Bed. 6. Good evening, Goffer. How is your day going? Oh, awesome. They actually cut all the pyrope. And honestly, any fight in Dwarf Fortress is amazing to read the log of. Like, even something as simple as, like... Well, I mean this, but... Even something as interesting as, like... sparring. The militia commander charges at the Swords Dwarf. The Swords Dwarf looks surprised by the ferocity of the militia commander's onslaught. The militia commander collides with the Swords Dwarf, and the Swords Dwarf is knocked over. Sword Dwarf stands up and misses the militia commander. It's cool. Like, that's them training and practicing. That sounds shitty. Ugh. I'm sorry about the yawn. I hope that you feel better soon. That sucks that your work is making you work overtime even though you don't feel well. You're gonna head to bed? Alright. Have a good night, dude. I'm probably not gonna do after hours tonight, so you just don't worry about missing Cud. You have a good one, though. Cheers, dude. Yeah, no, totally. Like, if you have the mental capacity and the ability to do overtime work like that, there's generally nothing wrong with it. I should make them stop those lead goblets. Just work on the adamant stuff. That's the priority here. I don't know if Sergaz is still here, but this is the end of the Breach soundtrack. Man, my personal YouTube account has gotten a bunch of subscribers this month. It feels good. We were kind of stuck at about 880 subs for, I want to say, the better part of 2 months. It didn't help that I went to a bunch of conventions and couldn't be as consistent about doing the good edited, uploaded stuff. But we've basically rocketed over 1,000 subs in like a week, which is really nice. Hopefully we can get more of that, because that YouTube channel growing, I think, will help the Twitch channel quite a bit. Was that a throne or a table? That's a table. I wasn't sure if I hit C or T. There we go. We've forged one of those adamant chains. Yeah, it's funny. I understand the issues of being an workaholic. Wrong alcoholic. My brain always goes to alcoholic because of all the dwarves. But I know the feel of being having problems with not being able to stop working or just wanting to work more. It's like work hard now and then like enjoy life later has been a philosophy I've had for most of my life. And honestly, it's hurt me in a lot of ways. I really wish I didn't have that personality trait, but it's something that I've always just kind of been drawn towards. I don't know. It's the only way to really describe it is it's almost a calling in a weird way. Like, it's once you work that much, it's really difficult to stop. Making prisons like a boss. Whoa, what are those? Mulmarians! A hideous monster that has the body of a giant mole rat and the torso of a mole rat man. It is found deep underground. Alright, well, it's on a layer where they can't touch me, so it's fine. That's why I have the middle Z level, or the middle cavern layer locked off, is because there's just so much random annoying so many random annoying monsters just running around in there. Also, I hope you had a good sleep, Infinity, because you said that you fell asleep for a bit. Random things you can put in cages to sell to merchants. I mean... Here's the... Okay, so I have a problem with selling animals to merchants. I find most of the time when I go to sell an animal in a cage to a merchant, the dwarf goes and takes the animal out of the cage and tries to, like, run the animal to the merchant. And if the animal isn't tamed, then the merchants spaz out and then I'd kill it and then leave. Like, I've never actually been able to sell pets. Like, do I have to tame them first, or am I just doing something wrong? Like, at first I thought I was just trading the cages, but no. It's not the case. They take the animal out of the cage when they try and trade it. I don't know how to trade both and keep the animal in the cage. Because the middle layer is where all the animals are, at least in this particular round. Sell cages? But that's what I do. They still take the animal out. Like, just hauling the cage to the... Just hauling, like the act of hauling the cage, they take the animal out. Give your body some rest. Getting rest is good. Getting rest is good. Being exhausted is bad. Don't be bad. Meditate on creation. Aw, good on you. Wonder what they're meditating on creating. Earth creation or something else? Or like the world's generation. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Bring in the adamant chain. Since adamant is so light, they might make nice chains. They wouldn't be too heavy or hard to hold. In fact, I'd imagine they'd be quite cozy. Considering they also make clothing out of it. It's basically a carbon fiber material. Oh yeah, no, totally. It's certainly described as carbon fiber. The way they talk about it as strands. It's like, oh, then they have to weave it into the material. Makes it sound like carbon fiber. Because that's exactly what you do with carbon fiber, right? You weave it into the material. Yeah, no, I know. Positron. I'm well aware. In fact, we made a bunch of leggings. I just wish Toady would give us dynamite. I just wish Toady would trust us with dynamite, because I feel like dwarves with dynamite would be amazing. Alright, so I need to go mine that out. And then we'll actually be able to fight whatever the next invasion is. Hey, Storm Mission. It would be impressive with dynamite. It would make scuttling forts a lot easier, wouldn't it? You could literally have like a self-destruct sequence set up. I mean, you can already kind of do that anyway, but you could make it just that much more intense. Fishing would also be easier, yeah. Speaking of fishing, Fuzzatron, were you ever able to figure out if grenades worked in water? I know that, like, you had the wrong type of grenade or something. Like, you had grenade launcher grenades, not actual grenades. But were you ever able to make any progress on that? Dwarves? Oh no. Here we go. Still just gonna lock the door though. Zephyr! Go open that. Go open that wall up. You know you want to do it. I think a goblin invasion would be fun right about now. So what we need to do is main levels needs to have access to this. And now that it has access to that, we're gonna wait until that is mined out. Then I'm gonna put the dwarves on the main levels. And then we're gonna close that door. I'm gonna kind of make sure that no dwarves are walking out. Oh, there they go. There they go. Actually, you know what? I really don't want them going outside. Take the military off duty. And now the gobos will come in that way. I want to say it's the further one. Hey chat, did you hear that? Don't ever point your cameras at the frog. Frog is camera shy. Hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, so it was the wrong one. Good to know. This means I gotta pull that one and not this one. Gotta pull both levers. The upper one has been closed. And the front door is open. There we go. And the dwarves can come back inside. And now I can turn off the main level's burrow. Dwarf is gonna go eat and then hopefully go back to working on the whatchamacallit, military thing. Captain of the guard. You know what, Turtle Bear, you get to be captain of the guard. You get to be the captain of the guard. So, chat room, I have a question. Should I give the captain of the guard the Baroness's old quarters and not worry about it? Who's dead? Or should I give the captain and the guard their own bedroom? What do you guys think? I mean, we could temporarily give them the old room at the very least. Can her ghost spawn? No, because we've already respectfully dealt with her body. If you respectfully deal with the body, then the ghost won't spawn. So this means either putting it into a coffin or giving it a slab engraving. Speaking of, I have some doors I need to engrave that died in unfortunate ways. Too bad. I mean, if the engravings ever get destroyed, they will come back and spook around. They will come back and do the spooking. Do the spooking. You know what I'm saying? Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, a slab. So if you whoopsies. Rock slab. You build a rock slab, and then you go into the craftsdwarf shop and you set them to engrave the rock slab. It'll then become essentially a headstone or a gravestone. Well, now you do. We're gonna make ourselves a custom stockpile, which is just going to be for drink, cheese, and prepared food. Return the slab, indeed. Throw some more beds in here. Throw some more doors in. You're headed home? Hopefully I'm still on. I'm really tired today. I woke up stupidly early for some reason. I just kind of woke up at about 5 in the morning, so. Thompus Maximus Decimus Meridius. Excalibur, how you doing today, sir? Bum, 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 bum. Your proper name? Luckily I didn't spill your full title, because your full title, we would have been here for weeks. Me and Thomps were going back and forth on Twitter last night on the perks of being single. And the problems. The biggest problem that I've figured out that since I'm with this life situation is that I'm on Twitter way too fucking much. I can't get away from Twitter. I need help. I need like a Twittervention. Anyway, how's your day been, Thumps? I've been on like a oh no, Lumps was found dead. Oh, that's unfortunate. On the bright side, you know, Lump was always a very sad dwarf, so. Gem Cutter is fighting. Oh, did you just get your shit kicked in? Ah, yeah, you just got killed. You just got killed by Turtle Bear, captain of the guard. It was all like, stop heathen criminal, and murdered him. Which is true. Lump did do a lot of crimes, but it's dwarves like to take you know, that sort of thing very seriously. Man, if you work too hard on stream assets, your assets will get you banned. Twitch doesn't allow nudity. Come on, you know this. Wow, wow, wow. Ooh, Overland got a patch. If it's no, yeah, exactly. You're completely correct. Overland got a patch, and they're making UI changes. The biggest problem with that game is the UI is clunky as nuts. I wonder if that game's cool now. Need to keep an eye on it. Did they make it less sad? What, Overland? Probably not. I doubt it. That was like maybe the most disappointing game I've ever, or of the last few years for me. Like the game itself is like, it's an okay like FTL style game. With little XCOM-y like combat battles, but outside of that, it's just fucking dull as dishwater, which is so unfortunate because the game is so pretty looking. Like the game is so nice to look at, but it's just so boring. Everybody had high expectations for it though. That's the thing. Ooh, a masterpiece. Adamant chain. Nice. Bottom. Wait, why can't I? Oh, it's probably because it's being moved. Hurist, the crafts dwarf, has been found dead. Were you also murdered by the captain of the guard? Yep. My captain of the guard is just running around fucking murdering everybody. Dwarf Fortress, everybody. Police brutality is a problem. Make room. Used by justice. Make room. Used by justice. Make room. Used by justice. Yeet. Make room. Use it for justice. Hobo Kebbles. How is Hobo Kebbles? Another one. Stonecraft has been found dead. I probably should just follow Turtle Bear around and just watch him systematically murder everybody. I don't know, Hobo. It's gonna take me a while to get back to calling you stoned again. Hobo was Hobo Keb for a while. Okay. We really need to just give you your old sound command back, which is now just the 420 bits sound. Luckily, though, our chief military dwarf also happens to be... our chief military dwarf also, luckily, happens to be our captain of the guard. And a vile force of darkness has indeed arrived. Oh. I'm excited. I am very, very, very excited. Alright, so a vile force of darkness has arrived. Actually, no, we'll give them a little bit of time to just kind of wander and see where they end up and figure out how many of them there are. Big ol' F. Big ol' F. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, so time off will now allow down here, in case anybody ends up in prison. And main levels will also allow down here, in case we need to tend to anyone in prison. So if we actually get witnesses now, we can report them. You know what I might do? I might go for a little bit longer on Dwarf Fortress and then switch over to some Risk of Rain. I need a game that I don't need to think about as much because as I said earlier, I am really tired today. Would you guys be okay with a little bit of Risk of Rain? It's been a bit. Bum 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 ba da 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 dum bum ba da dum bum bum ba da dum bum ba da dum bum ba da dum bum 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 ba da dum bum. Peasant has been found dead, dehydrated. Really? I guess you went insane. I'm okay, so we know what Hobo's response. That is a lot of dudes. Like a whole lot of dudes. Yeah, it's a combination of goblins and enslaved dwarves. You're almost gotcha. You got to Dungeon the Dragons? Well, I mean, today's been good. We started off the stream with a sponsored segment and got some very generous hosts from my teammates. And so we started off the stream today with Pigeon Simulator. So to give you an idea on how serious things have been taken today. I mean, you might enjoy Pigeon Simulator. It's free. Just go to that website and download the thingy. Pigeon Simulator, you heard me. It's a game about being a pigeon and shitting on people. You're also like a nuclear warhead pigeon, so you can like eat spicy food and it makes your shit explode. It's a thing. It's by the people who made I Am Bread. So, to give you an idea. It's a thing. Here comes the enemy forces. It was good fun, yes, Infinity. It was indeed good fun. Bum bum. So I haven't actually seen these. God, there's actually a lot of these dudes. Holy shit. You're gonna do nap and lurk? You have a good nappy and lurky. I hope we can beat them all up for you. Dwarf Fortress has this mechanic where certain screens can't be accessed if you don't have the in-game resources for it, like a manager. I remember if you have a four-person multiplayer RPG or a dungeon crawler that had the same mechanic, so you can access the map, but if the player did the map keeping is dead. Do I find that mechanic fun? I like it. It's really neat not knowing what your inventory is unless you have a dwarf assigned to the job to keep track of your inventory. Stuff like that. I do like mechanics like that. Yes. Although I could totally see why some people wouldn't like it. I'm gonna wait for them to make their way into my trap lair before we actually worry about filtering out the bodies and all. And then I need to figure out what to do with the bodies. I haven't actually thought about that part yet. But that'll be a problem for future me. Current me doesn't mind. Current me is all excited that I get to have super well-trained military dwarves with adamant swords go murder a whole bunch of not super well-trained dwarves and goblins. Stray water buffalo has been missing for a week. Oh no, poor stray water buffalo. I'm sure he went to a better place. Shoutouts to that one piece of gold ore in the middle of this. Yeah, no, totally. I'm not sure which RPG you're referring to, Infinity, but I do really like the mechanic. I find it to be a lot of fun. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, water buffalo did. Probably left outside, honestly. This goblin seems to be kind of like the leader, or at least the leader of this one small squad here. I love the fact that this dude right here is having a tantrum because there's so many corpses. So many bodies. Oh god. I'm really curious to see if they even make it through our traps. Because they have to go through all of these stonefall traps right here. All of those stonefall traps right here. Then they walk all the way up here and then all the way through those stonefall traps and the repeating weapon traps. And then they can fight us. So they have to make it real far before we even let them fight us. Here we go. Please just get splatted. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Get rocked on. You can't dodge out of the way when there's still a rock there. Welcome back from Nap. I hope Napland was swell. I hear that they added some new rides this past year. Man, I really want to close that bridge because they're all just sitting right there. Man, if they don't move and I'm able to squish them in that bridge, that'll be too funny. But they're all just standing on the bridge. Dwarven bridge is going splat, going splat, going splat. Dwarven bridge is going splat. Ah, there we go. Ufsalon is gonna go pull the lever. Please, dwarves, don't move. Please, dwarves, don't move. Please, dwarves, don't move. Please, dwarves, don't move. Please don't move. Please don't move. Please don't move. Please don't move. Oh, game's paused. Pull the lever. Lever's been pulled. Ah! Two of them insta-dead, and then two of them just kind of got knocked over. Don't stand on the bridges, you fools. I mean, Robo's made the best parts of the stream. Was here for the sponsored segment at the start, and then tuned out. Now he's back after a long nap. As a Marine once said, it's time for you to go to Nappy Boo in Betty Bye Land. Does anybody here understand that reference? I'd be happy if somebody does. It's time for you to go to Nappy Boo in Betty Bye Land. Do I look 12 to you? You don't get the reference? God dang it. It's a good movie. It's a reference to a movie called The Pacifier. Starring Vin Diesel, I think? The Pacifier. Yes. But yeah, no, essentially it's like a... Apparently it has a 20% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. LOL. Audience score 59. Okay. But apparently critics hated it. Anyway, it's like a solidly okay movie. I'm kind of impressed it has such a bad score on Rotten Tomatoes because it's a solidly okay movie. Bellinair, thanks for those. You're just in time to watch us murder a bunch of dwarven slaves. Welcome, Bellinair and Bellinarians. But yeah, no, it's actually like a solid movie. Like it's a comedy movie about a... Okay, so long story short, this is like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Dad is or was a guy that like a military scientist, inventor person who gets assassinated, and they think the family's in danger, so they put this big like action star guy in charge of making sure that the kids don't... Oh, Jesus. That dwarf just got splatted. And they put this, like, Navy SEAL essentially in charge of this family, and he's never had kids before. And so the whole, like, shtick of the movie is it's just Vin Diesel trying to, like, babysit a bunch of obnoxious teenagers. It's just a stupid movie, but it's fun. That's all. I'd recommend it. Anyway, Bellinair, I hope that you made pyramids. Really now? How was making pyramids? Exactly, like, apparently... No, the reason I'm talking about it is because I pulled a quote from that movie off the top of my head, and apparently that movie has a 20% critical rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is abysmally terrible. Which is, like, weird. Actually, I wonder what The Room has on Rotten Tomatoes. The Room. Rotten Tomatoes. Holy shit! The Room has a better rating! It has a worse audience rating, but The Room has a 26 on the tomato meter, and an audience score of 47%. So, wow, all right. I officially take Rotten Tomatoes about as seriously as I take Metacritic, so not at all, but that's still funny. You know, this would be a fun area to put in some ballistas, actually. That could be fun. I might have to do that tomorrow. Sweet, there's some dead goblins already. Goblin swordsman. Yeah, I had your stream open. On my second screen. I usually have your stream up while I'm streaming. But do you have a good stream today, aside from making pyramids, Bellinair? How is Planet Zoo streams these days? Is that director still busy? Yeah, that's kind of what they look like. Because you've posted pictures of those before. They very much look like those botanical gardens. Alrighty, dwarves. We are getting close. Slowly. I guess they're having to climb over the bodies and the boulders, which is why they're going so slowly. Meanwhile, this guy up front is just like having a panic attack. He's just tantruming and running forward. He's like, oh god. Life is pain. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, man. It really is. This dwarf is just like running and vomiting repeatedly. He's just running forward, panicking, probably screaming and puking everywhere. That is a lot of vomit. He's still vomiting. Oh, maybe he stopped. Okay, I think he's done vomiting now. That goblin seems to be puking too. Also, closing the stream for your chat, Bellinair. It says your chat was talking about you going to the dentist. Are you doing more dental stuffs? Yeah, no, totally. Well, best of luck getting your teeth poked. Oh, is that why you ended earlier? Yeah, okay. It felt like you ended early. Sorry I wasn't able to tune in this morning, by the way. I started early, too. I started early to do a hour-long sponsored segment. Hello, Wanderbot. Why is Blind having a puke fest? Well, these aren't my dwarves. These are invading dwarves. And they've had boulders dropped on their heads, so they're kind of woozy and sick. Same with these gobos up here. Or the goblin up here. Like this guy right here. Who's underneath the dwarf, probably crawling under his legs right now. Or maybe the dwarf just like jumped over him, one of the two. These are dwarven slaves that are attacking me. And I'm just waiting for them to walk through all my stone traps, and then I'm gonna go stab them. We'll stabby them up, and it'll be a good time. It'll be a good time. Hopefully. Or not. I'm just gonna sit here and sip my coffee. But yeah, no, I've had like this weirdly large amount of creative inspirations recently. It's like I managed to get 2 today in videos out in 4 days. Which is pretty good for me. That's like a solid, like, 12 hours of editing. Yeah, about that, actually. Because I put about that much time into the Caves of Cut video. And then, plus another 4, 5 last night. So I was up until about 11:30 last night editing the video that I put up this morning. Yay, another one gets splatted. Just cleaning teeth? Ah, gotcha. I like teeth cleanings. Teeth cleanings are nice. You leave the dentist and you just feel like someone put your mouth through the dishwasher and you're like, ah, this is lovely. Is that one of my dwarves? God dang it. Nope, wasn't one of my dwarves. Unless I had like a mercenary hanging around, which is possible. Certainly possible. All right, I might just go smack them. How many of them are in here? Looks like about half of them are in here. It's kind of hard to tell. All right, so I'm gonna go pull a lever. It's going to be this lever right here. This is gonna lock them all inside. It's gonna close this drawbridge right here and seal off this area. And then we're gonna send the squads in and stab them to bits. And then everything will be all fine and dandy. And life will be good. And then I think we'll switch over to Risk of Rain. Because I need a game that requires less brain, because I've been using too much of my brain recently. Between Dwarf Fortress and Caves of Cud, my brain is just like starting to drip out of my ear. Or what's left of it anyway. Yo, Bellinair, so I'm gonna have one hell of a weekend. I'm gonna go see 2 bands in 2 days. And then I could see a 3rd band on the Monday, but I don't think I'm going to, even though I'm tempted to. And then the week after, I get to go see Ensiferum. So it's Ailstorm on Saturday, In Flames on Sunday, and then I could go see Death Angel on Monday. I'm debating on it. And then the week after is Ensiferum. And I'm just like, yeah. No, Pigeon Sim just required me to turn my stream on an hour early. It'll be my 6th time seeing them, Storm. They were one of the first bands I saw live, actually, in like 2007? 8? 9? I actually can't remember what year it was. Somewhere around there. You know, there is part of me that's kind of sad I didn't go see Windrose when they were here. Just so that I could say that I've seen a live performance of Diggy Diggy Hole, but I didn't really want to spend the $25. If they were a $10 or $15 show, I'd go, but they're not that good. I don't listen to much Blind Guardian, actually. Ironic, really. Like, you'd expect me to. Oh, I know why. I pulled the wrong lever. I actually don't listen to much Blind Guardian, oddly enough. In Flames? Infinity? Admittedly, I think I liked their music more, their older stuff, but I really like the most recent album. I didn't like the one, like not their most recent, but the second most recent. Well, that's your Dwarf. Yeah. Yeah, you don't generally want to, like, accidentally murder all your dwarves with your own traps. Alright, so we're just gonna send in the squads. Go do it. Get it done. Actually, you know what? S-A-T-B-T-C-T. And we're just gonna station them right there. That should do it. That there should do it. Here comes our militia commander, in this case, Radagast. Wish him luck, chat room. Hello, Anander. How are we doing today? Alright, Dwarf, be brave. Charge! Watch out for all the arrows. That's the scary bit, is all the arrows. Seems to be dodging like a beast. Seems to be. Oh, Jesus, he's taking some... Oh, no, he didn't. He was just on top of a... Once more of my dwarves get in here, it'll be easier. It's kind of hard to tell what's happening because they're standing on traps, but... One of my dwarves is injured. I'm not sure who. It might actually be Radishcast. And the siege is over. That was quick. My dwarves are just stampeding through them. Bits and pieces are just splattering onto the walls. This is glorious. There they go, charging through. Look at that! Oh! It's the best feeling in the world when you just see limbs and teeth flying everywhere. Yeah, use those adamant swords and turn them into a fine paste. That's what I'm talking about. That's the good shit right there. Now that indeed is the good shit right there. Looks like we lost one of our wrestlers, one of our new recent recruits, which is unfortunate. But it was just a wrestler, just a recent recruit. BRB Fuds, you have a good time with Fuds. Go get good Fuds. Go make good Fuds. It's really hard to tell if my dwarves are dying or if their dwarves are dying, just purely because it's dwarves on dwarves. I mean, everybody likes a little bit of good dwarf on dwarf action, but can be kind of hard to like differentiate. Okay. Let's just take out this last guy. I think I just lost the one dwarf. Okay, so we're gonna turn off. We've turned off the, oh, is he dead? No, he's not. Oh, okay, I see, these guys got it. We've turned off the burrow now, so our dwarves are free to just go help the wounded. And our dwarves are heading home. Hopefully they don't panic too much. What are they hunting? Other dwarves. Locum has become a planter. Oh, Vubok, the scholar has gone berserk. That is not good. Why did you go berserk? Another dwarf jumps on you. Seems to have done a decent job fighting you to death. That's the sentence that I just said. Fighting you to death, yeah. Seem to have done a good job fighting you to death, you know what I'm saying? Not bad, though. I think we did it. How was your night with the chats, sir? Do tell me all about it. Stonecrafter's been found dead. Okay, they both died. It's fine. How did you enjoy the chats? That's your second time seeing them? Yeah? All right. So we're hauling all the corpses out now. Although I don't know if we are gonna... Ooh, Kumil's been possessed. The glassmaker has entered a strange mood. Uh-oh, you're a glassmaker. I have a very bad feeling about that. Workshop. I don't think I'm gonna be able to help this dwarf. I don't think we have any glass. Because I have no sand. Oh no. Yeah, how is your eye, by the way? Because last time you were talking to me, you were like, yeah, I just went to the hospital with my eye. But how is your eye? I hope it's doing all right. Yo, would you look at that? We're all out of adamant again. All right, guys. I think that this is a pretty good spot for us to leave it off. I got plenty of things to do tomorrow in Dwarf. We're going to hop over to some Risk of Rain 2, I think, for the remainder of the stream. First, I'm going to sit down, though. If you don't mind me asking, which eye was it? Was it the right eye or the left eye that got messed up? All right, should have been updated. Chat room, please tell me when the title updates, eh? Oh, really? It was your right eye. So then you know what it was like to be me for a day, or for a little bit there. Or you have an idea of what it's like to be me. Because having a right eye that doesn't work sucks.